Hey guys, so I thought I would come at you with Hey guys, so I thought I'd just come at you whoa, wow, this is not good. Hey guys, so I thought I would come at you with the good, the bad and the ugly about teaching, and I thought I would do it as I'm doing this, that and the other, because time is a thing. I thought I would just share with you some of the things that I wish I knew and some of the things that I've learned along the way. Okay, so one good thing is that teaching gets easier. Now in your first year, you've got lots of assignments, you've got lots of observations to pay for, lots of observations to prepare for, and so you feel like you've got no time to really perfect your practice and really teach amazing lessons. And I'm here to say that it gets easier. That your first year, you're doing all of that. Second year, you're redoing everything that you did in the first year. And the third year, you pretty much got the hang of it, especially if you stay in the same school. Now, if you move schools, that might differ. And he does that because I've been doing a little bit of supply work and I've moved a couple of schools since I started 5 years ago, which probably isn't a good thing.
5 schools in 5 years.
No, it hasn't been 5 schools in 5 years.
No. 4 in 5 years.
Wow, that's not good. Yeah, so I've got varied experience there in a range of subjects, but it does get easier, and the more you know your students, I would say, and how they react to your teaching style, the easier it gets on you. Now, if you think about it, would you normally have been reading that book or looking into the spec of that curriculum? Probably not. And so because you're having to read in order to teach your subject to a sufficient standard to be able to get that A grade for those students, you end up being smarter in the process of it. And so life is for learning, guys. So another good point is the holidays. So as you know, in the UK we get 6 weeks holiday in the summer, and then you have week-long holidays in different periods throughout the year. And so you know that's coming, and therefore you can plan ahead. There is a downside to that in that it's always in peak times, and holiday companies and such will always capitalize on the fact that schools are going to be off and therefore more people are going to want to travel during certain periods. So teachers have to kind of just live with that as well. But we do get a lot more holidays than the average Joe, so that is definitely a plus. So a bad is that leadership can definitely suck, and if you don't have good leadership in your school, it can make and break that job for you. If you think about the amount of time that you're spending in your school, which is like the majority of your week, then you really want to be happy in that workplace, and you need to know that leadership and people that are above you in the hierarchy have got your back, whether that comes to behavior, whether that comes to administrative tasks. So I'd say shop around to make sure you find your fit in whatever school you want to be in. So another bad point, guys, is that teachers can suck and they don't want to share their resources with you, and that can become an issue. So yeah, let's share, guys, let's share. So we're going to continue with another bad. So a bad is teaching is only a third of the job. I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, I go to teaching and that's the only thing I'll be doing. But it's not. You've got wider life responsibilities. Maybe that's running an extracurricular club. Maybe that's completing administrative tasks which pretty much takes up your whole free periods, which is not many to start with. Dealing with pastoral issues. If you're a full-time teacher, then you'll be allocated a form group, so you got to deal with all the resources that come with that. There's so many things that go into teaching, and so it's only a third of the job. Hey guys, so teachers are hella stingy. Now, I ain't speaking for all teachers. For the majority of teachers, they're amazing, but for some, they just be stingy. Maybe we're both teaching Unit 1, and there are 2 parts to Unit 1. So I've already planned the first part, and you have already planned the second part. So for me now, I've been thinking, let's share. Like, you help me to help you. That's less planning for the both of us. Yay! Yeah, no, some people be hella stingy. They be thinking to themselves, well, I spent all that time planning that resource and therefore it's mine, so I'm not sharing. And I'm just like, wait, what? Another ugly is nobody teaches you how to deal with parents. Now, you might be in a school where you have no difficult parents, but for the most part, you have at least one parent that just be trying you. And no part of your training prepares you for how to deal with parents. And the kids I can handle, the parents, I can't deal with the parents. Like, they just be coming at you. Everything's your fault. My child is not making progress because of you. And I'm thinking, wait, so I teach them differentiated lessons, which is accessible to them should they wish to access it. I stay back at my personal lunch times to do intervention sessions. I stay after school. I send them home with like additional work. And you're telling me that this is my fault? Wait, woman, what? I can't even deal with parents. So that is definitely an ugly of the job. Like, I feel like parents really need to respect the amount of work that teachers put in to make sure that their child makes progress. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the attitude of the child. Because half the time, that kid is an angel. They'd be like, ah, at home. But as soon as they come into school, they'd just be like, ah, you know? Like, I'm just looking at the child thinking, who are you? Where did you come from? Because that is not the same child I see in my classroom. I think at the end of the day, there's no cookie cutter style of teaching. There's no one size fits all. Every learner is different, every teacher is different, every lesson is different. There's so many different variables and variables, that's posh. There's so many different things that you have to consider when you become a teacher. And quite honestly, teaching is a humbling experience. You have so much empathy for some kids and what they're going through at home, maybe what they're going through in school as well. It can get quite disheartening and you can take too much upon yourself. Because your heart goes out to some of these circumstances that you encounter as a teacher, and there's a real big pastoral side towards teaching as a profession. I do think it's a humbling experience. See that these kids are still pushing on, they still want to do well for themselves, and if they don't, that don't beat them up about it. Like, they maybe legit are just struggling, you know, they just need extra help, or their way of lashing out from maybe an abusive home or something that might have happened, like somebody died, or maybe even something smaller than that, just feeling a little bit left out amongst multiple siblings. Their way of lashing out is not doing any work or falling asleep on the table because they couldn't sleep last night because of all the arguments. You don't know. And so I would really push people not to judge children too much and really understand their circumstances. Okay guys, so I hope that was helpful and that you enjoyed the good, the bad and the ugly. See you in the next one. Bye.